Good afternoon, everybody. What is going on? I am jeffgrantMEDIA, and today's real user review, we take a look at the Leander Everyday Professional Backpack. But we're also joined by Miss...
Hello, and guess what? The school is canceled because the cars are not working and nobody came to school. So I get to play in the snow after the video.
There's a snow day today, and they just canceled school, so me and Miss Hazel Fantastic will be working from home, and she will get to play in the snow if we get a little bit more accumulation in the backyard. But before all that happens, let's talk about the Leander Everyday Professional Backpack. Now, Leander did send me this as a sample for review, but all the opinions in this video are mine and mine alone. I did not share this content with Leander prior to publication. They will see this when you do. In addition to that, if you are considering buying this backpack or any other product from Leander, there is an affiliate link in the description box down below. Please consider using that link. It doesn't cost you anything extra, but I do get a small percentage of that sale kicked back to me, and all of that money goes back to the channel, help me produce more content so consumers can make informed purchasing decisions. So Leander, you may have heard of them before. You may not have heard of them before. It was a pretty new company to me. They have only been around since 2022, but one of the co-founders has some deep roots in another company that you may be aware of that's from maybe the Jacksonville, Florida area. So you can be assured that the quality of this is basically bomb-proof. Now, in addition to that, they make this bag and many of the other products out of their own proprietary Leander leather, and all of the zippers used are also their own proprietary zippers. So they started their own company, did not like the materials they were finding, so they went out and made their own, and they've been doing so since 2022. And I've now been doing our normal test. We are 3 or 4 weeks in on using the bag, and I can say thus far this has been performing great. It does not look as if I have been caught in several rainstorms now, and the leather has shed off the water. Miss Hazel Fantastic, how do you like the feel of the Leander Everyday Backpack?
It feels really good.
Do you like, does it feel soft?
Yeah, it feels smooth and soft, but there's like little droplets of something.
That would be the rain from yesterday, because it poured on me yesterday walking out of the office and back to the house. So it did get a little wet, so there are a few tiny little marks from the rain, but other than that, the bag looks great. You can't really tell that I got rained on unless you get super, super close, and there's like a few little marks right here, but really other than that, you wouldn't be able to tell that I got caught in basically a torrential downpour coming home from work. Everything inside the bag did stay dry, so these weatherproof zippers worked really, really well, and the leather didn't leak at all, because leather is skin. Skin has pores, so it is sealed up and treated well, so nothing penetrated through those pores. So before we get into the full real user review, let's do a few of the specs of the bag. The Leander Everyday Professional Backpack comes in at $395 USD. It is a 22-liter pack that is constructed from the trademark Leander leather, and the bag also features their proprietary zippers. This is a weather-resistant bag that I can say from personal experience does keep the rain out and all of your stuff inside dry. The bag features a lifetime guarantee. We have a large main compartment, a top QA pocket, and a laptop sleeve. And then across the back of the bag, we have a stretch tablet sleeve, as well as 2 smaller stretch pockets towards the bottom of the bag. Inside the laptop compartment, we do have a slightly padded but suspended laptop sleeve, a top zipper pocket towards the inner side of the bag, and we have enough space in here to put an additional notebook if needed. But now let's talk about how the bag handles the good, the bad, and the ugly. And as always, we're going to start with the negative so we can end on a positive note. And to be honest, I don't really have anything negative to say about the bag. It's handling everything I've thrown at it great. It still looks great. You can tell that this is made from premium materials because it is using and wearing really, really well. But I do have 2 points of note that are easy enough to work around, but I think if Leander takes some feedback and makes these 2 implements into the bag, it can make the user experience just a little bit better. And we're going to start with the very first one, which will be the QA pocket. Now, while I think every single bag needs a top quick access pocket just like this one could maybe use a little bit more slack. It does get a little tight in here. Even the zipper is a little hard to use just because I think it's sewn a little bit too tight in the bag. But the real issue comes when I'm trying to get in here, get my work ID out. It's just a little bit snug, and I only keep my work ID and 2 pens in here, and sometimes it's just a little bit too snug to get in and out of. So I think if they just maybe gave this pocket a little bit more slack, it would just make the zippering and unzippering and access of it just a tiny bit easier. Now, this is something that I have gotten used to, and it certainly doesn't take away from the usefulness of the bag or the QA pocket in general, because that pocket, again, is something that is incredibly useful, and I think almost every backpack should have it. But I think just putting a little bit more slack at the top of it would make the bag a little bit more user-friendly. Now, the next point of note is dealing with our top clamshell here. So if we open this, you can see we have a fold point because our bag isn't a full clamshell. We stop shy of maybe 4 inches or so from the bottom of the bag. So when we open this bag, it folds right across this zipper pocket here. So I can't access what's in this pocket with the bag lid open. If the bag lid is closed, I can stick my hand in here and completely access it. But as soon as I fold it, I don't have access to anything inside this pocket. And because it does fold across the top of the pocket, it will also restrict what you can put inside this pocket. So if anything's a little bit too tall, you're not going to be able to open the bag. So if they simply made this a full clamshell and brought the zipper to the bottom of the bag, you'd be able to completely open this pocket, the front flap, and access this pocket even with the bag open. And once again, it's not something that really takes away from the bag, but if they change that feature, it would just add a little bit more user ability to the bag. And really, that's it. Like, that is all of the negatives or points of note I have with the bag, because other than that, this bag has handled great. I absolutely love these zippers, these proprietary zippers. I love the color, I love this matte finish, and they are all butter smooth. They come around the bends, no problem. Even the back laptop sleeves, they come around the bends. They zipper, there's no stick points at all. And if you've ever used an AquaGuard zipper, you know they stick all the time. So the fact that these do not stick is awesome. And this proprietary leather, it feels nice, and it's holding up and looking really, really good. Again, there's only like 1 or 2, I think there's a third one up here, little spots that you can see, because it was a bit of a wintry mix coming down when I was leaving work. It was mostly rain. It was coming down pretty quick and pretty heavy, but there was a little bit of snow in there, so I think that's more of the snow that kind of stuck to the bag, but it sheds off all that water. You can't really tell that I was in a basically wintry mix of rainstorm last night. The bag still looks great. The straps have been really comfortable to use. They're not a super thick strap, but they have a fairly decent denseness to the foam, and they do have some good flex to them, but they are offering a lot of good padding. Now, this is a 22-liter pack, so I don't need like a super thick, bulky strap because I'm not carrying a ton of weight in this. And the overall look of the bag and what you're using this for is the professional backpack. I'm not going to be carrying like weight in this. I'm not going to be carrying a ton of stuff. This is going to be my EDC everyday commuting bag, so I don't need to put a lot of weight in. So the fact that the straps are a little bit thinner is completely fine, even though it does have a nice dense foam. It's a good mix of comfortability and usability. Now, if we take a look at the back panel, this is a nice soft material. There's nothing coarse about this. It's not going to be rough or pill up any of your clothes. So if you are wearing this over something like a blazer or a sport coat, on either the back or the underside of the straps, it's not going to be rough on that and pill that and turn that nice sports coat into something that you're going to have to end up donating. And then this overall look and appearance of the bag, it's really nice. It's a very gray man or very businessman, so it's going to fit into a lot of settings. So let's talk about those settings. Now, this is the Everyday Professional Backpack. Now, this is a nice quality premium leather bag. This is a very professional looking backpack. This isn't something you're going to be taking out in the woods on a hike. So this is something I feel would fit in really nicely in the city for an urban commuter. If you're taking a subway or if you're taking a bus or any type of mass transit, this is going to blend in seamlessly into the environment, but it's still going to be very durable and a very premium product for you to be carrying on your back. So it's not only going to carry your stuff well and keep it all protected, but it's also going to look good in the process of doing so. In addition to being a great office bag, this is going to be a great city or urban carry backpack because it's a very simple look and it's very comfortable to wear for a longer period of time. Speaking of carry, what do I have inside my bag? If we start with the main compartment of the bag, in here we have my tech kit, my admin pouch, across the back, I used to have, there, my flight itinerary for a work trip I just took. I have my first aid kit and my odds and ends in one of my 2 little liner pockets. Then, some stray candies that fell out from Halloween, so they've been in there a while. Take them. You gave them to me. And then at the bottom that fell out, we have my bandana. In the zipper pocket across the top, I can close this, but because I access these quite frequently, I've just been leaving this unzipped. This is my little med pack, if you will. I have my medication in here, and then I have like allergy meds and aspirin and ibuprofen. And then this is a couple extra little odds and ends. And I think, nope, there's something else in there. We have my cortisone and some cold medicine. And then on this bottom pocket that is hard to access while open, I keep my 2 Green Room 136 pouches, my tuna tin and my sardine tin with a bunch of rando stuff in here. These are kind of like my little tool kits and a few other things. The QA pocket was where I had, you saw my work ID and a couple of pens. And then across the back, in our laptop sleeve, I have a lavalier mic that I use for both my videos and work. An extra notebook because the one I'm currently using has a 1 page left. And then because I don't really have to carry my laptop, I carry my tablet. Get that out of the way. And because I just got back from a work trip, I have... Oh, sorry, baby, it got a little crumpled. I have some I love you notes from Miss Hazel Fantastic.
There's a word under there.
That she made for me before I went to Mississippi for a couple of days for work. So I've kept these in my backpack. But all of this stuff fits inside the bag, no problem. And I still have room in here for incidentals. So 22-liter bag, I feel like this is certainly punching above its weight class. I can fit a fair amount of stuff in here. It's got a good shape to it. I always find that bags that have more of a square or rectangle shape to it, you can always fit more in there than you anticipate. When you see 22 liters, you think, okay, well, I'm not gonna be able to fit this much stuff in there, but because it has a good shape to it, you can actually utilize the entire bag and utilize those 22 layers, as opposed to something that has like a tapered look to it, where it might be a 22-liter bag but it has a tapered form to it, so it fits the body better, but you can't fit as much stuff into it, so you have a lot of wasted space. So I really like these rectangular shaped bags because, zip it up, you'll be able to see the form of it a little bit better. So I really like bags that have a rectangular shape like this, because you can actually fully utilize the bag. So I don't need to get like a 30-liter pack, which I don't mind carrying a 30-liter pack, but I don't need to get a 30-liter pack to fit all of my stuff in it, because the bag has a tapered design and I'm losing all of that room at the bottom, where like a few things will fall to the bottom but nothing's going to lay or sit nicely in there. So I like the overall shape of the bag. You can really utilize it and fit everything in it. But let's bring it all together. Do I think that the Leander Everyday Professional Backpack, sorry baby, I'm covering up Miss Hazel Fantastic's face. Do I think that the Leander Everyday Professional Backpack is worth $395 USD? And yeah, I do. It's made of premium materials. It's proprietary leather, proprietary zippers. Yes, they are a new company, but they have a background from a company that a lot of you will know, and I think some of that carries over into this bag here. So it's basically a bomb-proof bag that is going to fit into the office place and last you for quite some time, because the bag is basically bomb-proof, and I'm really enjoying it. So if you're looking at the Leander Everyday Professional Backpack, it's really good. And Leander makes more than just backpacks. They make some home goods. They make like carry trays, they make desk mats, they make mouse pads, they make coasters, and then they make carry goods. So they're doing a decent variety of goods, all out of this nice premium leather, proprietary leather. So yeah, I'm digging it. There's those 2 changes that if I were to build this bag myself, I'd make those 2 changes. One being full clamshell, so you have access to that bottom zipper pocket while the bag is open, and I would just give a little bit more slack up top here to the QA pocket. But the fact that this bag has a top QA pocket is a win-win, because I hate when bags do not have that QA pocket. It is incredibly useful way more so than you ever would have imagined if you've never had a Top QA pocket. So yeah, I do think that this is a worth $395. It's a premium made bag, designed in North Carolina, from two veterans, a veteran-owned company. So yeah, it's definitely a great pack. I'm enjoying using it, and I'm going to continue to use this bag. So with that, Miss Hazel Fantastic, what do we say at the end of our videos?
What?
If you like this video or any of my other videos, don't forget to
comment, share, and subscribe. Smash that big red button and
ring that bell.
Ring that bell right next to it and see a new video. Good night.
Good night. Oh, that's the business card. That's Justin's business card. That's the guy that I talked to that makes the bag. That's funny that you just randomly picked that up. That's it. Yeah, well, that's the controller for the lights. But you just grabbed Justin's business card. Justin is one of the co-founders of Leander, and Hazel just randomly picked up his business card.